Hello people! Today we're doing my own nails and with a set I'm calling Raccoon Ruckus. Here's an extra close-up of the thumb. That's a little bit too zoomed in. Starting off, we're going to be using this thermal polish of Modelones. Now, I probably should have put a base under this, but I didn't. So I'm going to be doing 3 coats of it. It's kind of goldy when it's warm, and then as it gets cold, it turns to a really dark charcoal. And it also has these little teeny tiny confetti glitters in it, which kind of turned out to be a happy accident because in the finished one, they kind of look like rain coming down, which is appropriate. This is the second coat going on now. If I had put a base under it, I probably could have got by with 2 coats, but I went ahead and I'm not going to show the 3rd coat, but just know that it is on there. This color doesn't totally go with this set, but I wanted to use it, so here we are. Okay, moving on. The rest of these are going to be ombre, starting with this darker kind of maybe a dusty coral. I don't know salmon color maybe, I don't know. But that's what we're going to start at the top with. And then we'll be using this Beetles, this is color A480, in case you really want to know and you can't see what I'm showing on there. All of the materials are listed in the description. There, you can see that nail. Well, you briefly got to see that nail, so you could see how it's starting to shift. The part that's on the free edge is getting darker. What I like about this thermal polish a lot is it gives you kind of a natural ombre happening because of the warmth. Now I'm going to use my wispy ombre brush, and very awkwardly I'm going to work on my own nails, which is very hard to do for me. I just feel so awkward when I have to do this on my own nails because I can never get my hands turned in a way that I can deal with them properly. We're just going to keep on blending till we're happy. Now this is only the first coat, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I know I say that every time and then I strive to make it perfect. That's just the way I am, I guess. Okay, we're going to put a little bit more of that on so we have more to work with for the blending down here. It's like my whole desk is shaking here now. It's causing my phone holder where I'm filming at to shake, so everything's shaky. Sorry for my arm. I tried to edit all those out. Clearly I missed that one. And then there's a hair now. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, for the first coat, I think that's good enough. There's a view of that thermal polish now. So you can see it's darkening at the tip and staying kind of goldy at the base. Oh, and I forgot to clean that off. I definitely want to make sure to clean off that polish that's on my skin. As soon as I get the ombre done on each nail, I gotta clean that. I don't want to end up with any itchy fingers and red swollenness again. That is a lesson I will soon not forget. And a little bit heavier next to the blend line with the colors, so you have some little extra polish there to work with for your blend. And you're just going to keep blending back and forth with the ombre brush until you get a blend you're happy with. This is why I like working on the press-ons, because I can do what I need to do and get done. This is so awkward when I have to try and do my own. Now I am occasionally wiping my brush off during the ombre if it starts to build up too much polish, or if I'm going to switch from the darker area into the lighter area, or vice versa. I usually clean my brush off. I've edited all those out because that had my arm going right across the screen, as usual. I know you guys have seen that a million times from me. Okay, we're ready to move on to the next one. Now when I get ready to do the second coat of these, I will speed this up. This right now is in real time, so you can watch me work at my slow poke pace. And now I'm out. There we go. As I say, now I'm out of the shot. Well, as you guys all know, we just had our big election here. So there's one person in our house that's happy, my husband. My son and I are not happy at all. Most people I know are not happy at all with the results of the election. So it looks like we're in for another 4 years of lunacy. That's pretty much all I better say on that. I won't get myself into trouble. Just know that not all of us Americans are happy about what happened. And I'm one of them. Alright, cleaning that off. And that's ready to cure. You guys will be happy to know I did not get any itching or redness at all from getting that on my fingers. I guess I got it cleaned off quick enough that it didn't have time to have a reaction. Okay, going in for the second coat of these. Going to do exactly the same thing we just did. Although this time we're going to make sure our blend is nice, because this is it. Now this is sped up to double time here. If only I could work at that speed. I thought I would do an ombre for this set just to have something a little different. I haven't done one on myself in a while. And moving on. And we're just going to, oh, there's a hair again. We're just going to blend, 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 blend until we get a blend that we're happy with. Essentially, you're just blending the two colors together till you get a third color in the middle, basically. And then you can keep blending so you can feather it out a little so it's just not all like in striping sections. There's many ways you can do an ombre. I've seen it done so many different ways, but for me, this is the easiest one. Now, if you're working with regular polish and not gel polish, the sponge method works the best for that, I think. I've tried to do the sponge method with gel polish, and it's so thin that it just doesn't work on here for me like that. Plus, it's just easier to blend them together this way, I find. And I'm going to do whatever is the easiest that gets the job done. So, there we are. Clean that up and we're ready to cure those, then we can move on. And there we are so far. In we go to cure. Moving on, we're going to be going on with the stickers. These cute raccoon stickers I got from Allie. And the brand is February 30th.me. is the name brand of these. I've had some others of their stuff, and they are pretty nice. Now these are 3D stickers, but they're not like heavy 3D. They're just, you could just barely feel like an edge to them. So they're not the real heavy duty ones that stick up a lot. But I have learned from past mistakes that when using these 3D stickers, not only do I want to make sure they are stuck down really well, but since I'm going to be layering some of these, we need to make sure that there's no air bubbles between the bottom layer and the top layer. Otherwise, water will somehow manages to get under there, despite the fact that they're encapsulated in a top coat, and they will then peel. Okay, now I want to use some of this grassy stuff, but that patch of grassy stuff is all one big giant long one, so I'm cutting it. So we're not going to use the whole long thing. One thing I did like about these is they do stick really well. As you'll see, when they're just having it on my tweezers there, it didn't want to come off. And then trying to get it where I wanted it so I could get the tweezer out of it. Well, I'm going to be back in shot in a second here, hopefully. There we go. Now you'll see me push that down better after we get going here, right before I top coat. I'm going to give that another press down. Uh-oh. That one I crunched the top of the umbrella, so we gotta straighten them back out. Luckily, these are thick enough that you can do that. Some of them, like if you're working with decals and stuff, they're really thin. If you crunch part of it over like that, you're pretty well just screwed because you can't always get them back. Try to straighten them out, and then they tear on you, and it's a whole thing. And not a pleasant thing either. See, this is why I like the little, looks like little rain coming down, because the little umbrella ones. And moving along. We used to have a raccoon that would show up here and steal the cat food that's on the front porch that I put out for the stray cats. And he was hugely fat too. But I mean, he was around for maybe a week or a couple weeks, and then we didn't see him anymore. So I guess he moved on somewhere, which was fine because at that time I was not happy with all the outside critters eating all my cat food outside. Now I just have to contend with possums in it, and the occasional mouse will steal a piece of the kibble out of there. Not a smart move, though, stealing kibble out of the cat food bowl when the outside cats definitely are hunters. There's one that I've named Dennis, as in Dennis the Menace, because he was wreaking havoc inside our house because one of my cats just hates him with a passion. For some reason, I don't know why. So he goes ballistic every time Dennis is up there on the porch. But other than that, he's a really good cat. You could tell he used to belong to somebody. When we first started seeing him last summer, he had an indent around his neck where he had a collar on. So I suspect somebody moved and just dumped him outside and didn't take him with. That just breaks my heart every time. I cannot understand how people can do that. And I would take him in, but like I said, I've got one cat that's just hates him, and secondly, I just cannot afford to take him to the vet and get him neutered and checked out and all that. I just don't have the money. Hell, I can't even get my own self to the doctor to get my meds refilled, so definitely can't do that. So I do the best I can, taking care of him outside. He shows up like clockwork when it's time for the food. And he is starting to fill out, so I know he's definitely getting food besides just what I'm feeding him. the other day when I came back from getting the mail, I'm walking up the stairs on our landing, and there was a dead mouse on there. I'm like, well, I guess Dennis has been here. Either left me a gift or he's just letting it sit there in the sun and cook a little bit before he eats it. It's gross and disgusting, but at least I know he can hunt and feed himself. Anyway, that's enough about cats. I know you guys are not going to care to hear about that. We're here for nails. I don't want to get started on a whole cat thing again. And we're going to put this little butternut squash on the pinky. Now these little leaf frond things, I could totally paint those very easily, but since I've already got them here on the sticker sheet, I'm just going to use these. And that one, there we go, I fixed it. I had crunched under the end of it, so it was a little bit scrunched under on the last leaf, but I was able to straighten it out. Okay, and I'm just going to put a couple little more things at the top of some of these because it looked a little bare. And if I leave it bare like that, next thing you know, I'm going to be putting crystals or something on there, and I really didn't want to get involved in doing that. I don't have a time for this set, but I know it went fairly quickly. Which I will not be doing the times on things anymore. But you'll know why hopefully in a few days. I'm hoping to get my ducks in a row this weekend so I can get my other video posted up, and then you'll know what's happening. I haven't forgotten about the poll on the YouTube for the giveaway thing. I just haven't had time to sit there. I'm going to have to Google how to make a poll on there because I cannot figure it out myself. I've tried. Okay, now I'm going to go over this grassy sticker in between there and make sure it's pressed down really well, and I've got all of the bubbles out from in between the two stickers. That way when we top coat, there won't be any air bubbles under there. And it looks like I've decided to put something else on. Oh yeah, this other leaf. This guy, I lost the stem off of this leaf. And I could have pulled it off and restuck it on, but I figured, nobody's going to notice it anyway. Okay, now we're getting ready. I'm just giving these a final press down. I'm going to go over these one more time where I've layered them so I can get ready to top coat. Now I'm using my tempered top coat, and I'm putting a really hefty layer on here because I want this to be encapsulated underneath there. Now you want to pay really close attention. If you have any of them that come real close or right to the edge of the nail, you want to get your top coat really well along there to make sure it's sealed in, because as I said, these 3D stickers have a tendency to want to try to peel off. I mean, they're stuck down really well. Now I don't know what there was a chunk of dirt on there. I don't know where that came from, but I cleaned that off. And moving on. Now see how this guy's got his tail part way off the edge, and I've trimmed the excess off. I want to get that spot really well with my top coat because I don't want that edge to come peel up. Same with the bottom of that grass there near the free edge. Okay, once I get cleaned up, I cure those. Now what I did was I filed just briefly along the side edges a little to get some of the bulk down and get my shape back. And now I'm going in with the final top coat, just a normal layer, not too crazy. I mean, everything's nice and smooth. It totally feels encapsulated. You can't feel any of the bumpiness from the 3D stickers. So I'm hoping I'm not going to have any issues with anything coming off. The real test will be tomorrow when I have to wash my hair, because then they're going to get a good soaking in the water and the shampoo and all that nonsense. That's usually when I have stuff start to come off, is when I'm in the shower washing my hair. So fingers crossed we don't have any issues. There shouldn't be, because I've definitely got these all encapsulated very well. So if there is, then I don't know what else to do. I guess I would have to do encapsulating with either acrylic or the poly gel in my case. Okay, and there we are, all finished. Some cute little raccoons playing in the rain and the leaves. And there's the two thumbs. You see how the little glitters look like the rain? I thought that was kind of cool. That was a happy accident. And the final look. If you like them, please give me a like. I think they turned out cute. And if you want to see more, I will be uploading a new tutorial every Saturday, barring any issues. And that is it for today. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.